What's up, House Church? Man, we are so glad that you're here today. Man, I'm excited to be a part of tonight with you because I think this is going to be a special time and a special conversation. Now, look, just honestly up front, I realize that I might be preaching a little bit to the choir today because we're talking about community, right? We're talking about investing in community and house church and the power of that. And I imagine if you're here, then you get a lot of that. Maybe you're here for the first time tonight. And listen, I could not be more excited for you. This is an incredible first step in what's going to be an amazing journey. And so I'm excited for you. But look, today, here's kind of the big idea we're unpacking, right? And it's this, I believe that for all of us, no matter where we come from, no matter our story, no matter our background, no matter the things in life that we are for or against, I think for all of us, we kind of all have this innate sense, this innate desire for two big things, for calling, but then also for community, right? Purpose, but people. Like we want to live a purposeful life, don't we? I mean, we want to feel like our life is lived on purpose and with a purpose, that it has a purpose, that it has meaning, that we're making a difference. We're making a difference in the world around us. We're making a difference in lives around us. We want to pursue some things, right? We want to be about a purpose, be about a calling, but honestly, we want to be about that with other people. Doesn't it make it much more fun to kind of be about that pursuit, to be about that calling with community, with people, with others? I mean, it's why I use this illustration. It's why we love things like CrossFit. It's why we love things like travel baseball, right? That might not feel like a purpose to you, but it's a pursuit of a tangible thing, right? A better you, a better body, or a championship. We're pursuing something. We have purpose in our efforts, but we have community in that, right? Like there are other people in the struggle pursuing the same things with us, and that's what keeps us in those moments. And so as a church, right, as followers of Jesus, we have a purpose as well, right? We have a calling as well. Jesus gave it to us. Matthew chapter 28. It's what we call the Great Commission, right? I mean, Jesus said that we are called to go into the ends of the earth, to go to people that are far from Him and teach them to obey all that He commanded, to make disciples, to make followers of Jesus. And so as we follow Jesus, as we make ourselves available to follow Jesus, part of that availability is going to the people that are far from them and taking a message of hope and grace and mercy, that is the gospel, to a world that desperately needs it, right? And teaching people, I love this. Jesus said to teach them to obey all that I've commanded. See, to follow Jesus isn't to live a life of gaining more knowledge. It's not about abstaining from certain things, right? To live a life, to follow Jesus is to live a life marked by community and calling, obeying the things that He's commanded of us because He has placed guardrails around us to live a full and good and complete life, right? That's why He's given us the commands, not just for rules, but for guardrails in life. And so as we follow Him, we live out that calling, we live out that purpose. But the truth we've got to own is that our purpose, that our calling is influenced ultimately by our community, right? The people around us will influence the purpose we live out. And so we put people around us, and that's great. But one of the questions we have to ask ourselves is to what end, right? Like what is happening because of the friendships, because of the people that you have around you? One of the verses that we talked about on Sunday was from Hebrews chapter 10. And the writer of Hebrews talks about that we should not neglect gathering together because gathering is important, but instead we should consider how to spur one another on to love and good works and encourage one another as the day is approaching, is what the writer of Hebrews is saying. So what he's talking about there is that our investment in community, when we talk about community, we talk about this idea of investment, that our investment in community is ultimately an investment in ourselves as well. Because the people we place around us, the people that we allow to have influence in our lives should be a source of challenge, right? Spurring one another on to love and good works. They should challenge us to do good things, but also should be a source of encouragement, of sustaining in the valleys and the difficult seasons of life. You know, when we talk about community and this idea of investment, I think it's so important. This word investment, right? Because you know this tonight at House Church, like it's costing you something. All community, all of our activities is costing us something, right? That's what an investment is. We are spending time, we're spending resources, we're spending attention. But the reason we say it's an investment is because it's not a sacrifice. Instead, you're receiving something back, right? Like when you invest your time and your attention and your resources to a community like House Church, you're receiving back encouragement and challenge and support. And those are good things. And your investment in community is also an investment in your future. One of my favorite things about House Church is that children are involved. And for your house church, that might look different. Children might be in your circle right now. They might be in a back room doing their own thing. They might be outside playing kickball. I don't really know. But what's incredible to me is the fact that there's a space where kids can gather together and they can see their parents, they can see other adults investing in their faith, investing in their relationship with Jesus. Like this is an invaluable opportunity. Man, kids can be loud. It can be chaotic sometimes. Your kids might be running through right now screaming, hey, look, it's okay, right? Man, it's just part of life. Because what you're doing in this moment is you're providing a space for them to create biblical friendships, for them to create biblical community, and see you making it a priority in your life and in theirs. And ultimately, this is our last idea, that your investment in community is an investment in your purpose, right? Acts chapter 2 talks about the beginning of the New Testament church. It talks about where the church was gathered together really in living rooms. Just like this, the believers were gathered together and they were devoted to the apostles' teaching and they broke bread together. They shared meals together and they shared prayers together. It's incredible. I mean, think about tonight, right? People gathered together, devoted to teaching, committed to learning, sharing meals together, praying together. It's a perfect picture, right? And it says that when the church aligned their calling that Jesus had called them to with their community, when the people they placed themselves around and the purpose they were living out aligned, it says that awe and wonder came upon them and many miracles were being done through them. You see, the church, they didn't just receive miracles, they became the miracle. And so when we as a community, when we as a gathering of people are committed to one another and we're committed to the purpose that God has placed in us, man, we'll see incredible things happen, not just in our lives, but through our lives. So my big challenge, right? My big challenge is not just to attend House Church. Maybe that's where you've been. My big challenge is to really invest in it. Spend some of your time and your attention and your resources, give to it, and watch what God does, not only in your life, through your life. And maybe you want to begin to look for the people around you that need that invitation to come and be a part of a community, a thing that they're probably craving, and experience the calling that God's already placed in their life. Hey, look, I'm really excited about tonight and the conversations you're going to have. Man, we love you and we're praying for you.